Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and the limited time Halloween game mode Haunted Masquerade came out on Tuesday, giving Overwatch 66 a slight little twist. And when I say slight little twist, I mean a little nipple twist. Not much has changed other than the fact that you're able to wear the hero's mask on your team to get special abilities. Get more health, do more damage, that kind of sort. However, each mask has a duo, a ship if you will, that gives a special ability if you play two specific heroes. And today we're going to be going over all of the masks and the special abilities that you get, along with showing off a secret unknown mask that we do not know the hero of. We do know the hero, it's Hero 45. Lupa. We will show off that unknown mask at the very end, but beginning our masquerade journey are going to be the two Symmetra brothers, Genji and Hanzo. Now, if you have a Genji on your team, there will be a little sack doll in the spawn room where you'll be able to wear the Genji mask, where you can gain the ability to double jump. The Genji mask can be worn by anybody, but if Hanzo wears the Genji mask, he gains a special ability where if Genji swift strikes the enemy, it will mark the enemy, allowing you to have magnetized arrows that can seek out the enemy, honing in on them and make it a whole lot easier to shoot them. On the flip side, if a Hanzo's on your team, you'll gain the ability to wear a Hanzo mask where the farther the enemy is, the more damage that you will deal. So the damage will scale. However, if you are a Genji wearing the Hanzo mask, you will gain the ability to activate a Dragon Strike instead of a Dragon Blade. You will now be able to awaken the Green Dragon to seek out the enemy, where they will just eventually move slightly to the left and avoid your ultimate. So now that we know how masks work and how they work with specific heroes, let's move on to another ship between Roadhog and Junkrat. Now with the Roadhog mask, you will be able to gain the ability to heal yourself by 100 health every 30 seconds, meaning that every hero will gain a new 3 abilities. It's almost like you're a mini Roadhog if you wear the Roadhog mask. But if you're Junkrat wearing the Roadhog mask, every concussion mine that you explode on the enemy, gasoline will spill on them. Now you'll know when you quote-unquote spill gasoline on the enemy because they'll have this kind of a greenish yellow aura around them, almost like smoke. And any single time you do explosion damage, whether it's your grenade or with your concussion mine, you will light them on fire for 10 seconds, doing damage during that whole duration. Now, if you wear the Junkrat mask for any hero, when you die, you will drop grenades just like how Junkrat does upon his death. But if you're Roadhog wearing the Junkrat mask, every single time you make contact with the enemy with your chain hook, an explosion will happen, dealing more damage. Here are what I think are the best mask duos in the whole entire game mode: the Reinhardt mask and the Brigitte mask. Now, the Reinhardt mask actually gives 2 abilities to every hero. You gain an additional 50 armor, and you have increased melee damage. Now, that's really great, especially if you're a Brigitte wearing the Reinhardt mask, because not only do you get the extra 50 armor and the extra increased melee damage, but you also get an increase to your shield size and increase to the durability when you're in close proximity of one another. Reinhardt truly is the father that Brigitte never had, but if you're a hero wearing the Brigitte mask, if you deal melee damage to an enemy, it will heal nearby allies, very similar to just how Brigitte's passive works. But if you're Reinhardt wearing the Brigitte mask specifically, when Inspire is applied to you as Reinhardt, if you charge and pin an enemy, you will explode on them upon impact. And if Inspire is stacked 3 times on you, the explosion will also be stacked 3 times, increasing the explosion radius and damage. Now, the most interesting ships here are going to be Reaper and Moira. The Talon heroes both get a mask and both get special abilities. Now, any hero that wears the Reaper mask, similar to the Reaper passive, if you do damage, you'll automatically heal yourself very slightly based on the damage that you do. But if you're more wearing the Reaper mask, similar to Sojourn with Orisa, you can apply a biotic orb onto your Reaper, almost like he's the horse going into battle. The Moira mask will apply a constant health regeneration, similar to the Zenyatta mask. However, when you do DPS and actually get a kill, the health regeneration will increase for 10 seconds. Reaper not only gets that added benefit, but he also goes Sonic the Hedgehog. He goes absolutely zoomies whenever you're in your Wraith form, getting an increase to your speed and jump height. Just being so goofy. What are you doing, Reaper? The most interesting and confusing duo ship is going to be with Orisa and Sojourn. Now, the Orisa mask, this decreases knockback applied to you, and it also decreases the debuff on you. So if you're Mei wearing the Orisa mask, you get less knockback, so on and so forth. But if you're Orisa wearing the Sojourn mask, you will now be able to attach your disruptor shot on an allied Orisa. It's like attaching a grenade on a horse, but in this case, the horse is Orisa. And the Sojourn mask grants you 50 additional ultimate charge whenever you deal critical damage. But if you're Orisa wearing the Sojourn mask, your Energy Javelin now turns into a disruptor shot if and only if you hit the environment. So if you hit an enemy with your javelin, there will not be a disruptor applied to them. It'll just be a normal javelin. I know Reinhardt's mad because he wanted to get the duo mask with Ana. He'll have to set it with Brigitte, but instead, Soldier 76 is going to get the duo mask with Ana, where if you wear the Soldier 76 mask, you get an increase to your attacking speed. But if you're an Ana wearing the Soldier mask, when you throw your biotic grenade, it'll apply a biotic field from Soldier 76's hero kit on the ground. The biotic grenade will still work as normal, but you just get that added extended heal benefit. The Ana mask will reduce all incoming damage by 15%. Very, very useful, especially if you're a tank. But Soldier 76 gets a very unique, but admittedly kind of confusing ability when he wears the Ana mask. So now in your ability bar, you'll gain the biotic grenade for your 3 button. When you press this button, you won't throw the biotic grenade, but rather apply it to your Helix rocket. And anybody that's hit by the Helix rocket will then get the anti-grenade applied to them. The most interesting mask ship of all time is Torbjorn and Mercy. I know they work together, but really, Torbjorn and Mercy? Alright, whatever. When any hero that's wearing the Torbjorn mask, you'll gain an additional 3 ability, meaning that if you press 3 on your keyboard, you will gain extra armor. But when you're Mercy specifically, you will gain the Overload ability to give to an ally. This ability might seem a little bit confusing, but whenever your staff is connected to an ally, you reload your staff, you press the R button or reload button, and then you give them the Overload ability, making them go Angie mode, making them be more powerful and souped up. Now, the Mercy Mask is very beneficial for everybody because you increase your base health by 20%, so this could be very helpful with Tracer, but if you're Torbjorn, this is one of my favorite masks of all time. Your turret will now be able to be toggleable between healing and damage boosting to allies that are within the turret circle. So what I like to do, I like to cheese the turret by placing it in a corner, toggling it to healing, and then just body blocking. That way I don't die, my turret doesn't die, and it still does damage. The Vishkar duo are back in town here with the Symmetra and Lifeweaver mask. Now the Symmetra mask, it'll substitute any of your base health, the white bars of your health, into shields, the blue bars of your health. And when you're a Lifeweaver wearing the Symmetra mask, your pedal platform will get a mini Symmetra shield around the pedal platform, meaning that you could just be a DPS Lifeweaver and get all the protection because ain't nobody gonna be shooting you up there. Now, the Lifeweaver mask is very interesting because if you're any hero wearing the Lifeweaver mask, you get 2 added benefits. While you're airborne, you get additional damage, but if you're also on the pedal platform, you will also gain that additional damage benefit. And if you're Symmetra wearing the Lifeweaver mask, your turrets can now target allies, granting them armor. It's just so weird because you think you're gonna grant shield, but instead it's armor, and it's attacking your ally, but it's actually helping. I don't get this game, man. The OG Overwatch duo both get masks here with Winston and Tracer. Now, the Winston mask specifically, if you do melee damage like you knife with Genji or punch with Mei or whatever, you will knock back enemies. But if you're Tracer wearing the Winston mask, God, this is so stupid. So you're able to apply a pulse bomb on your Winston, and you both can activate it at any time. Just be careful that Winston doesn't activate it when you're near him. Oh yeah, and also remember that when you melee someone, you knock them back, so don't melee people with Tracer. I didn't do it in this gameplay because that was just so stupid, an oxymoron of ability for Tracer. Now the Tracer mask, you'll just have an increase to your movement speed. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But if you're Winston wearing the Tracer mask, you will gain the ability to recall, but only if you're within your bubble. Kind of confusing because the ability goes in and out of your hotbar, but just remember, when you're in your safety bubble, you can then recall and gain all of your health and ammo and everything else that you originally had a couple seconds before. Auntie Mei and Juno both get a duo mask, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like the Juno mask, but if you're anybody that's wearing the Mei mask, if you're near an enemy, your damage will be increased by 25%. But if you're Juno wearing the Mei mask, specifically kind of like how Hanzo wears the Genji mask, any hero that's getting hit by Mei's primary fire, whenever you activate the Juno torpedoes, you will mark that enemy, and then when you shoot and hit that enemy with your torpedo, you can actually freeze them for 1.5 seconds. Now, if you're any hero wearing the Juno mask, you will be able to hover in mid-air. Kind of lame, I'm not gonna lie. But if you're Mei wearing the Juno mask, anytime Juno uses her ultimate, if you place a wall within the ultimate, it will spawn a blizzard, a a freeze almost like you ult as Mei. The two Omnic brothers are up next, Ramattra and Zenyatta. Now, if you wear the Ramattra mask for anybody, you will slow nearby enemies by 30%. This is actually kind of helpful for heroes like Tracer and Brigitte that want to get in the mix of things. But if you're Zenyatta wearing the Ramattra mask, and this might sound a little bit confusing, but just stay with me now, if you apply a Discord Orb on your allied Ramattra, when they go into Nemesis form, it also will apply a Discord Orb to nearby enemies. Now, any hero that wears the Zenyatta mask, a mini Harmony Orb will be applied to you. So Genji mains, you can't cry about healing if you have a Zenyatta on your team because you just wear the mask. But if you're Ramattra wearing the Zenyatta mask, anytime there's a Discord Orb applied to an enemy, you will be able to detonate that Discord Orb and cause explosion damage not only to them, but also nearby enemies. And a Discord Orb will also be applied to those exploded on enemies. A lot of explosion going on with these two. Now, those are all the masks that you can wear in the spawn room, but on specific masks in the middle of the map, you can get this unknown mask with a question mark that's called the Lupa mask. What many people are speculating to be Hero 45, the Lupa mask will grant you increase to your movement speed and attacking speed anytime you do melee or ability damage. So this could be very helpful with like Reinhardt or Brigitte or Genji, heroes that are constantly meleeing and doing ability damage. And hot gamer boys and e-girls everywhere, those are all of the Haunted Masquerade masks and all their ability and special duo partner. Mine is probably the Brigitte. My favorite one is probably the Brigitte one, but let me know what your favorite mask is in the comments down below. But until then, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.